back to Guitar Centric. Today it's guitar chat mode. So, Adam, what are you gassing for today?
Well, there's a couple of things that I'm really keen on. Firstly, last year, as we covered in some of our videos, I got my first valve amps, like proper valve amps. You know, we've got the Fender Hot Rod Deluxe, Line 6 DT50. Absolutely love them. And then I moved house to a place where really they're a bit loud for me to play at home, which I'm sure loads of guitarists have these issues. They're still great in rehearsal. They're great playing with a band and everything. So it's not like I want to get rid of them, but I would like basically a shit hot ampless system. So what I'm really keen on, I've looked at the Line 6 Helixes. I mean, obviously, we'd all love a Kemper or an Axe FX, but they're really, really expensive. The Helix has always come in at a decent price. The LT was about £800. But they've now released the HX Stomp, which is a much smaller Helix. It's got all the same effects. You can't run as many at the same time, but it's tiny. I really, really would love it. I think it sounds great. It looks pretty cool. I like having such a tiny unit that, you know, you can put it in your backpack and just travel with it if you need to. If you go to a gig, it can be a great backup, but if not, it sounds amazing and you can use it at home whenever, really.
Yeah, it does look really nice and compact. I mean, the user interface thing, I mean, I've seen people demonstrating it, and it kind of must be a bit fiddly having to sort of look down this tiny little screen and make sure everything's working. But you have to bear in mind that, you know, all these sorts of solutions that companies like Line 6 present, you know, they've given it to us in the past in the form of like pods and stuff like that. And, you know, the interface for that could be a bit fiddly, so, you know, you kind of got to compromise somewhere, haven't you?
But if you plug it into your laptop and then you can sort of get going with that, I think it's a really good solution and at a good price. I think it's coming in at about $429, which is brilliant when you consider the sounds that people are getting out of that unit, the Helix. You know, I think it's worth it, and that's really what I'm majorly gassing for at the minute.
Yeah, there's a lot of buzz about it. I know that. I mean, I've had a lot of people talking about how, you know, effective it is, and I think it all boils down to how usable the different combinations of things are. Because the trouble is, when you're presented with loads and loads of effects, you know, you can spend hours and hours just going, oh, should I choose this chorus or this chorus, and A, B, and back and forth between so many things. And yeah, you can get kind of like lost in the complexity of it, but it depends on how busy your, you know, guitar performance life is, that you might need that many tones, you might need that many different settings, you might need that much flexibility. So
it's not for everyone.
No, it's not for everyone. No. Yeah.
What about you? What are you after?
What am I gassing for? Okay, well, I really, really fancy the Music Man Majesty, the new John Petrucci. It's not new, I should say. It's not new. It's been around for a while, the Majesty, but they've released like a new series, the 2019 version of it. And some of the finishes, you know, really flashy finishes and really interesting colour options. But some of them are quite sort of straightforward. Now, I'm a bit of a sucker for signature models. As you know, I've got the Music Man JP6 and also a Tremonti SE. I don't know what it is about signature models. I just kind of like gravitate towards them. But the Majesty kind of ticks that box of, you know, ergonomic design. The layout, the control layout is really kind of easily graspable. You know, if you're mid solo, mid performance, you have to change pickup, switch the piezo system on, all this kind of stuff. It's just really kind of laid out in this nice kind of like sweeping motion that you can do with your arm. You know, sort of like switch here, switch here, volume, tones, all that kind of stuff. And it has a push gain boost, onboard gain boost. Which
That's pretty cool. Yeah, so that'd be good for a solo, just whack it in that
one. Yeah, you can annoy drummers with it. It's really good.
I must admit, I don't love signature models.
No.
But it just doesn't, it's something about it, it feels almost like playing someone else's guitar.
Yeah, and that's what it is. I mean, but it's nice if you can kind of appreciate what that artist or what that performer has put into that instrument, and if you like those features, if that kind of appeals to you, then why not, you know?
Yeah.
And you could argue that the Gibson Les Paul is a signature model.
Well, very much. Yeah. Well, here's another question actually, because I'm quite keen. I know Chapman are doing a new vote for a new guitar, and it looks like it's going to be a sort of Les Paul Junior single pickup, and it's for Tommen, right?
Yeah.
Chapman guitars. Is that a signature guitar, or is that, because it was obviously compiled by voting? Is that a signature?
Yeah, it's almost like the people's guitar.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's like asking the internet to create a guitar, or at least settle on a guitar. So it's like a guitar referendum.
It is like a guitar referendum, so obviously that's why they were faffing around for ages trying to get another one.
Is the release of it going to get delayed?
Do you know what? Yeah, I mean, they did the ML1. Was it the ML1? The Chapman?
Yeah.
They did the ML1. They should never have done another. It's undemocratic that they did an ML2. Yeah. Bad Rob Chapman. Yeah. But honestly, I really like the idea of that. I don't have any single pickup guitars. I do faff around a little bit, but I kind of like the idea of just something that's plugged in, go. That's what you get, and that's quite nice for a guitar, I think. I quite hope they'll do one. I just want it to be solid wood with a P90. For me, then I'll
Nice.
probably end up owning one of them.
Having fewer things to worry about when you're playing is really handy, I think, and just having one pickup guitar sometimes with no or very minimal controls just means you're playing guitar. You're concentrating more on the notes you're playing rather than all the different bells and whistles. And that's
But I know you wanted to talk about the shopping of guitars. Very much things that are distracting guitarists from being guitarists by being guitarists.
Exactly, and we're all guilty of it. And it comes back to this a YouTube video I watched by a channel called 5 Watt World. And it was a really interesting feature he had about talking about people that try to reduce their guitar collections, actually trying to slim down the amount of stuff they've got and getting the most out of the less gear. And I like that concept because it comes back to what are you actually playing on guitar.
Yeah.
And his main point was that when we're shopping for guitars, we're not playing guitar. We're coveting these instruments and coveting gear and trying to sort of figure out what is the missing link in our sort of tone journey. And it is a journey, and that's another point you made. But if you're shopping for guitars and looking at different things and messing around and putting different combinations of stuff together, how much are you actually playing guitar and getting better at the instrument? All that time spent looking on the internet. Fair enough. We can't always be playing guitar. Sometimes we can only be in a situation where we can just look at something.
And again, with faffing, the issue I wanted to speak about, I mentioned earlier on the video, I've moved house and I realised my old house was like guitar cancer. And it takes a long time. And again, the whole guitar journey, as we mentioned earlier, it is a journey. It took me a long time to realise environmental effects on my guitars, and I was struggling so much with humidity. When I moved out, I ended up buying a hydrometer.
Yeah.
And I was running. My house was running at about 75% humidity at the best of times, and I've been there for 14, 15 months at this stage. So I can safely say 80% of my acoustic guitars are now in a state where I'm going to need to spend some serious money on repairing them because the fretwork on them is dreadful now. Loads of them are popped out. I had one that had swollen so much, it took about 2 or 3 weeks in a normal humidity and it dropped back, but it had swollen so much to the point that it was not silent, but it was dead quiet. So I just really want to point out to everyone, if you haven't done this yet, it'll save you a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of effort. Just buy a little hydrometer. Make sure your guitars are 40 to 60% humidity. And if not, deal with it with a humidifier or dehumidifier because it will save you time, effort, money, and a lot of sanity.
And the thing is, you actually see those hydrometers in guitar shops, in like acoustic guitar sections. I never noticed them, but I've started seeing them now in more and more shops.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if the instrument dries out too much and, like you said, warps or frets start popping out, you're not going to sell many guitars if that's what you're playing.
There's a reason why they have them.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, I bought one decent one which I thought I could trust, and then a few cheap ones. So I was spending about £1 or £2 on the cheap ones just to make sure, and they were all reading exactly the same. There was like a 4% difference between them, but the average of all of them was fine. And now, luckily, some of them have sort of come back together. Obviously, my frets haven't stuck themselves and glued themselves back together.
Wouldn't that be great if a guitar could do that?
It would save me a lot of time and money if they
fix
did.
itself.
Yeah,
fix itself,
would be nice.
So I understand that you've been looking for some new strings, and you've discovered a bit of a controversial issue with them.
Well, I mean, elixirs. I love elixirs. Firstly, I want to say elixirs are great, and my strings are actually going to physically break down before the tone has gone, which is ridiculous. I don't quite understand it, but it sounds amazing.
It's magic.
But I was just, as I was buying my hydrometers and buying some stupid tuners off AliExpress in China, I saw a set of strings and it was like 3 sets for £2.50.
3 sets of elixirs?
No.
I was going to say, well,
they do sell fake elixirs on there, but
Okay.
I went for 3 sets of general strings, and because I've got a lot of problem with my acoustics, as I'm trying to repair them, I don't want to be putting new strings on a guitar that's in a bad state. So I bought them, and I'm just coming here as well, so don't bother. Like, don't bother. It was £2.50. Go buy yourself half a pint in a pub or something if you're over 18, of course. Drink aware. I put them on a guitar, and honestly, it sounded like a bad sitar.
Yeah.
It sounded like when you're younger and you put some rubber bands on a tissue box. Dreadful.
I've had nasty strings in the past that when I've been doing vibrato and things like that, you can feel it almost like grating against the fret.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's actually attacking the fret. I don't know what the metallic construction of the string is or what that's allowing it to do that. But yeah, heed that warning basically. It's a good job you didn't buy in bulk and go, oh great, 800 packets of strings for £250 or something like that. And then go, I'm like lumped with all these.
Well, I did just think, if it works, perfect. If it doesn't work, but you don't get the time back. Yeah. That's one thing. Yeah, you're not going to get your £2.50 or your time back. So bad AliExpress strings. I would recommend some of the tuners on there though. Very good. Okay. £1.87 for a little stubby tuner on the top of your guitar.
So it's not all bad then.
It's not all bad, no. But don't there's certain things that would affect your tone. And I mean, we start this video talking about wanting to spend hundreds of pounds to get a great tone, and then I say about I went and bought these strings. So I'm an idiot. Don't do it. It's been done. It won't be done again.
Yeah. We've all learned something.
We have all learned something, and that's what we're here for, to learn.
Good. Okay, so let us know in the comments if you've got any sort of interesting signature guitars that you're gassing for, or whether you think that signature guitars aren't for you, that they should be kind of avoided. Let us know what you think.
Let us know what you think about going ampless as well, if you've tried any ampless systems, and also if you've experienced humidity issues or awful Chinese string issues. Let us know if you've been affected by AliExpress strings. Reach out, because I'm pretty sure other people will have been as well. Let us know in the comments what you think about these issues, and we'll see you next time.
Take it easy.